Almost no woman likes being in a relationship with a weak man. If you act nervous, timid, lowly, or overly flattering when interacting with a woman, you will end up receiving the harshest treatment from her. Don't doubt it if you've ever behaved like this. You already know from experience that this is a bloody reality. Human nature is like this. People only respect and admire those who are strong. So it's not that women are being mean, simply human nature. Whenever a woman comes into contact with you, her subconscious is judging whether you are a strong man or not. Every woman has an attraction switch. The moment she senses that you are strong, her attraction switch turns on. She starts admiring you and being drawn to you. On the other hand, if she senses weakness, she will look down on you and may even mistreat you. To put it more bluntly, even your parents, who love you unconditionally, will still feel disappointed and frustrated with you if you are too weak. So think about it again. When you get nervous in front of women, is that how a strong man behaves? If her attraction switch never turns on, she simply won't like you. So how do you change this? The answer is simple. Stop spending all your time and mental energy trying to please or cater to women. Real dependence and loyalty only come as a byproduct of your strength. When you become like the firm phoenix tree, the phoenix will come on its own. You must first raise your own value and solidify your inner framework, and through your actions communicate your strength. Once you are perceived as a strong man, outstanding women and high-quality opportunities will naturally move toward you. If you enjoy videos like these, please like and subscribe to the channel. A man needs a bit of bad in him. The badder he is, the more women tend to like him. First, he dares to express love openly instead of hiding it. Women may not like slick, smooth-talking men, but they do like men who are brave enough to show their feelings directly. Second, when he talks, he teases a little in a playful, naughty way. When a man and a woman interact, he shouldn't be stingy with his words. He needs to capture her attention first. A touch of mischievous teasing makes her feel intrigued. A man with a sense of story can win her heart. Third, a bad man knows how to initiate physical contact. Women like men who take the lead. After spending some time together, if he initiates the right kind of close, intimate contact at the right moment, it can actually make her feel a thrill. But remember, everything depends on having a sense of proportion. If he crosses the line, she'll end up disliking him instead. We spend our whole lives searching for someone we can truly talk to, someone who understands what we're saying, and who is willing to listen even to our meaningless chatter, right? It sounds so simple, yet meeting such a person takes an enormous amount of luck. Some people may have been fortunate enough to encounter this once. I also hope I can meet someone who admires me and whom I admire in return. I want someone who would hold an umbrella for me, protect me, and make me feel safe and worthy. There was once an opportunity for me to travel the world, but I gave it up. The greatest regret in life is not missing the best person, but missing the one who wanted to treat you the best. Only later did I realize that someone being good to you and someone being good only to you are two completely different things. Actually, I've come to realize that men are the real emotional animals. In real life, the emotional pressure and emotional needs of men are often far greater than those of women. Why do I say this? From a very young age, Chinese boys are told to suppress their emotional feelings. They're taught that a man must endure hardship, must be strong and unshakable, that pain and suffering are things you should never cry about, and that a real man should never show weakness. A man is supposed to stand tall, go out and make money for the family, not get caught up in romance and feelings. Women, on the other hand, are much freer and more delicate in expressing their emotions. So women naturally become more skilled at emotional expression. When women gossip or talk about their emotions with their close friends, they feel that it strengthens their bond. But if men spend their time talking about emotions and love with their male friends, they'll be judged as unambitious or incapable of doing big things. So what does this lead to? It means that men accumulate more and more emotional repression, while women have more emotional outlets. And when does a man finally get permission to express his emotions? Only when he has succeeded in his career. Only at that point does he dare to release his emotional needs. Once he becomes successful, he also begins trying to make up for what he has lacked emotionally, and fill the loneliness he has carried. This creates a huge gap in emotional needs. If at this point his partner pours all her energy and emotions into the children or the household and ignores him emotionally, then he becomes very prone to seeking emotional value from someone outside the relationship. So women should never assume that men don't need emotional support. If your partner doesn't show it, it may simply be because he feels he's not qualified yet. Many women think that the more successful a man is, but less emotional he becomes. But that's only how he is when dealing with work. That rationality he uses for business often needs to be compensated by even greater emotional value in his private life. So, ladies, when your man becomes more and more successful, what you need to pay extra attention to is not how much money he's making. What matters more is his inner emotional needs. As a woman, I really don't want to admit that the worse a man behaves, the more we women tend to love him. But after counseling so many relationship cases, I keep hearing brothers complain. Why is it that those bad guys can effortlessly make girls like them so much? So today I'll talk about 3 traits of so-called bad men. Each one aligns with human nature and genetic selection. And they really do have a fatal kind of attraction for women. The first trait is that bad men flirt, but they don't chase. And we women find it especially hard to resist this vague, ambiguous feeling, that sense of, I feel like you like me, but you haven't said it. But I really feel like you kind of like me. It drives us crazy. Once a guy exposes his intentions too early and starts writing long confession essays and trying to impress us with emotional effort, we immediately go into defensive mode. It's like he voluntarily hands over the power dynamic to us. Those charming bad guys always focus on pleasing themselves instead. If they want to chat with you today, they'll chat. If they want to see you today, they'll show up. But they will never get upset just because you didn't reply, nor feel humiliated if you don't accept their invitation. It's as if how well they treat you or don't treat you is entirely based on their own will and will. And mood. The second trait is a strong sense of I deserve better. Bad men aren't actually that extraordinary in terms of conditions, but they carry extreme confidence. They genuinely believe they deserve high-quality women. Meanwhile, a lot of guys shrink back the moment they meet someone they like. They unconsciously put themselves down. She's so beautiful. She has so many admirers. So outstanding. I'm so ordinary. She never liked me. Then they place themselves in a weak position and start trying to please her. Or they turn around and settle for girls they never actually liked. From an evolutionary psychology standpoint, selfishness stems from survival instinct, pursuing better genes for reproduction. Bad men understand this well. If I want my genes to continue well, I need to be a bit selfish. Because you are excellent. That means I deserve you. And even if I don't win you, I lose nothing. I'll just find the next one. So settling for low-quality matches. Impossible. The third trait is that they focus on improving themselves instead of endlessly analyzing others. Many guys get mentally drained in dating, overthinking why she didn't reply, why she won't meet, what she's thinking inside, and even making excuses for her in their own mind. All of this is low-value behavior. Bad men have very strong inner frameworks. They know anxiety solves nothing. If they want to be liked by high-quality women, value and capability are the true keys. For thousands of years, genes have always favored strong-to-strong matching. Weak genes despair and get eliminated. Strong genes improve themselves and survive. Bad men never waste energy obsessing over a woman's thoughts. They are always investing energy in teaching themselves, their charm, and their strength. Because they know only when they have value do they have the right to bargain and choose. When you're dating, you must be cautious of people who immediately say they're looking for a partner with stable emotions. People like that are often trying to strip you of your emotional freedom. You have to understand that passionate love and perfectly stable emotions cannot coexist. Emotional stability can very often mean a lack of love. Someone who constantly demands your emotional calmness and accuses you of being too emotional is most likely feeding you a very toxic type of advice. Because in a healthy relationship, you should feel safe to express your real emotions. Have you ever seen the movie The Saddest Thing Is Missing You? The female lead became extremely insecure because she was hurt in a past relationship. She kept pushing the male lead away, yet at the same time constantly bombarded him with messages. But he never disdained her for it. Instead, he kept accepting her emotions, stepping into her inner world, comforting her, and trying to heal the huge wound in her heart. When our emotions are unseen, we become crazy, we become clowns, we become irrelevant background characters. Only when our emotions are seen, understood, and accepted do we return to being calm and gentle. People who are loved never become hysterical. Because in a truly healthy, intimate relationship, there is no such thing as excessive emotion. Why can toxic men make women fall so hopelessly in love? Because a toxic man has no bottom line. He doesn't even act like a normal human being. Let me tell you the story of a high-level toxic man. His method makes women unable to resist him. And the worst part is, it all happens without the woman even realizing it, step by step falling into his trap. How does he do it? He constantly tests a woman's boundaries. Once he figures out where the boundary is, he breaks it, then tests again, then breaks it again, until the woman ends up having no boundaries left. When it comes to him, and the things he tests are all in tiny details you would never notice. For example, during the first meet, most girls carry a handbag, right? He will walk side by side with her Dot. Why? Because there's a psychology trick here. If a woman feels truly safe and comfortable around you, she won't place her bag on the side closest to you. She'll hold it on the opposite side. He uses this to gauge whether she feels safe with him. That's step 1. Step 2 is emotional push and pull. For example, he uses chatting, little tricks, slight tough hand magic, anything to stir up her emotions and make her happy, creating the illusion that the two of them are already very familiar and close. Step 3 is changing the scene, where he takes her matters a lot. He will deliberately choose somewhere high-end, like an afternoon tea lounge or a quiet bar inside a 5-star hotel. The actual cost per person might be under 100 RMB, but the girl doesn't know that. She just thinks, wow, he has strong spending power and good taste, which upgrades her overall impression of him. At this stage, the girl still sees him as just a friend. So he continues pushing her boundaries by escalating physical contact. That's how he transitions her from friend zone to girlfriend. Then he changes the scene. Again, maybe a riverside walk or a stroll in the park. It looks like just a walk, but it's actually the next test. And this test is crucial. The result tells him whether he can move physically with her. He'll buy 2 cups of milk tea, one for her, one for himself with different flavors. Then he'll take a sip of his, pretend it tastes bad, and before she can react, he drinks hers. Then he watches her first reaction. If she reacts positively or doesn't resist, it means her interest level is high. Then he can start increasing physical intimacy, pulling her in close, hugging, kissing, touching her like a boyfriend would. And the next move is the most calculated one, and you'd never expect it. But it almost never fails. He'll say, "There's a really good late-night snack place downstairs from my home. I'll take you there." Once they arrive, he'll suddenly remember he has some unfinished work and say he needs to go upstairs to send a file, asking her to come up for just a minute once she goes upstairs. He will not let her leave. He'll hand her a pair of slippers to change into, casually saying, "My work might take a little while. You can watch a movie. I'll order something to eat. Just relax." The goal is to keep her there long enough for the environment to start feeling familiar and safe. After a while, he comes back out and says, "I'm done. Let's watch the movie together." The lights go off. Now it's a private space. And because there was already kissing, hugging, touching earlier, she won't resist anything further. From there, he moves on to even more intimate things.